The fact that Karen really tried to go all this time to make people think that it was just nothing and it was a mistake and it was just whatever, and then you see that, that's bad. That is bad.
Virtual reality.
All right, Nischelle Turner, Danny and I are so excited to have you back in our studio.
Y'all can't get rid of me if you wanted to.
No.
We never want to get
We're
rid
in
of
a
you.
relationship.
Yes, we are.
We are in a relationship
That
now.
makes me happy. I don't know
We
if it
go
makes
together
all-
real bad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know if all the Bravo Lebs love that we're in a relationship because you bring the hot takes and you bring them out of us too.
Who have I made mad yet today? Let's see.
No one just yet, but we're just getting started, Nischelle.
It's gonna happen.
And that's what I love, that like you are literally on the carpet of the Golden Globes interviewing like the A of the A-list. But then I'm like, oh my God, where do you find the time to watch Bravo and formulate all these amazing takes and everything like that? But I want to know, because it was just the Globes, did you have the best time?
I really did have a good time. Like it was a bit of a mad red carpet because there were so many stars there. Like everybody was there. But it was so cool. Once we got going, we got great stuff. Had a lot of fun. Like had a lot of laughs. Got a little nude, broke a little news. You know, all that kind of stuff. So it turns out to be a really, really good day.
Yeah, and I was telling you earlier, I was so excited you talked to John Chu about the Britney biopic.
We had to give the folks what they wanted. The
he
people
really
wanted the Britney biopic
Well, because
information.
I was interested to hear what he had to say, especially about the fan castings online. He said that he was definitely paying attention.
Yes.
But I want to know, because we heard from John Chu, I want to hear from Nischelle Turner.
Okay.
Who do you think should play Britney?
Oh my gosh, that is a tough one. I mean, I think there are the conventional wisdom thinkers, a Sydney Sweeney, or, you know, a Sabrina Carpenter, something like that. But part of me thinks find an unknown. Find an unknown.
Like an international search for Britney.
It's almost like, how does this new generation of pop girls play our generation pop girl, right? So I kind of feel like you do need to find someone unknown that's going to just dive all the way in and make her name off of this, right?
And I feel that would help all the fans too, because if you have like a Sabrina Carpenter, there'd be like preconceived notions about her, or she would, of course, because she's like a megastar already, would bring some of her into that, versus someone who can kind of just embody the Britney of it all.
And I know this is a little bit of a hot take, but I thought like Marisa Abela, I thought she played Amy Winehouse really well. So I kind of like that. I mean, she'd been in a couple things, but like her playing Amy Winehouse, I thought she was able to get all the way up in the nooks and crannies of it and give us something where we're like, oh, who is this?
Yeah.
And so I think I kind of want to see that for the Britney biopic. And I'm glad that Britney's going to be a part of it. I really am glad about that.
That was good to hear.
Like to kind of have some direction there. So, and John Chu, he's going to do it right. You know, if he can't do it right, he's not going to do it.
Right. Exactly. Yes. I have full faith in him. But speaking of Britney's, we got to talk about Britney from Salt Lake City, because she was the star of this week's episode.
She was.
The deleteds, the record. Like, I mean, where do we start?
First of all, let me tell you, she plays dingbat well, but she's not.
Oh.
She is not.
Okay, tell us more.
That girl is smart. She knows exactly what she's doing, and I love every bit of it. She is milking this for all it's worth. She knows how to deflect better than anybody and turn a conversation on its head. She was in hot water, and she said, I'm going to tell you something that I haven't been honest about. Jared and I have a physical relationship, and everybody's like, "What?"
That was
chef's
You
kiss.
didn't hear a word about recording ever again after that. You didn't hear a word about recording.
Because then they
dates.
got into this deep conversation about Mormonism and
Yes.
what that means and breaking free from the culture and this
and
and that.
admitting that you are having sex out
Like-
loud is like a big deal.
The way it worked.
She's good at saying, what about me?
Word. It worked. Even when she started crying that very first time, and they were all like, "Oh," except for Mary. Mary was like, "She deserved it.
Does not work on Mary.
Don't matter. She deserved it. Don't be boohoo crying." Like, you know.
Wait, and you know, she does sing. Do you think she'd audition for the Britney biopic?
Oh my God, can you imagine Britney playing Britney? I feel like there is a level of delusionality where she thinks she could possibly get the
Oh,
part.
I think she probably does think
Yeah.
that. She probably does. I mean, listen, I wish I could be at least that delusional. I do think I'm a rock star in my former life, so I get that.
Right.
But I do know real life that is not happening. But my former life, you can't tell me nothing.
She is aspirational. Like her cover of Defying Gravity It's beautiful.
But if I hear her sing one more show tune, like, girl.
I feel she probably did at the reunion.
And do we think she actually had a deal with Kerastase Thermatique, or do we think she just wanted
the manifestation?
Yes, and that because she's mad at Lisa now because Lisa has a collaboration with them now.
I feel like maybe there was an email sent, and
Or-
then I feel like
Or like
they
they like
realized
to comment on Instagram, and she's like, "That's a deal."
right, the delusionality.
Because she went on Watch
yes.
What Happens Live and made us think, oh, baby, the paperwork was signed. She's about to be the bouncing and behaving girl in the, in the commercials. We really thought this was about to happen, and then all of a sudden it was like, "Rah," and Lisa Barlow was like,
And then she accused Lisa of stealing it. Yeah,
right. So that's what I'm saying. Do we really think she had a deal?
Yeah, I mean, she does love to change her story.
Yes.
So I'm thinking maybe
4 different times she did.
That's
different
impressive.
times.
And then it actually had the nerve to say to the producer, like, what are you talking about? The producer's like, girl,
I know.
you changed your story. She's
And
like,
also,
huh?
it was a bad story to begin with that just got worse to funny to crazy.
How you gonna bring your kid into it in her spelling test?
And then talking about like I was trying to like congratulate her as people are screaming in the background. Like that was the craziest
see you
version.
next Tuesday. That's what they're screaming in the background, and you're saying I'm sending this to my
Great
daughter
job on the A.
first.
Yeah.
So,
They're spelling it. See you.
but wildly entertaining. I really do think she has added so much to this
Give
season.
that girl all the snowflakes.
So you're a
All
fan
of them.
of Britney. You want to give her a snowflake.
Yes.
But we heard you have some new feelings about Bronwyn. Are you going to resend her snowflake?
Bronwyn, I want you
could?
to listen to this because I love me. Y'all know I was like, Bronwyn is the best newbie on Bravo.
Yeah.
And I still think she has the opportunity to take it and run with it. But what I feel like in the last few weeks we've seen is that Bronwyn has no loyalty to anybody. And in order to be a rock star housewife, you do have to have a little bit of loyalty to somebody. And there is this really, I'm not sure what it does she love Lisa? Does she hate Lisa? Like, what is it?
I think it's both. I do think it's both.
Do you? Because she
Yeah.
goes above and beyond. Like, she goes above and beyond to just power, and then she goes above and beyond to kiss the ring. And so, what is it?
And did you see that she posted all the texts between them last week? And I'm just kind of like, what?
We don't like that. We saw. I did not like that at all. I thought that was low based, and I think she is smarter and better than that. I did not like that at all.
Do you
Not at
think
all.
those kinds of receipts are better suited for reunion time instead of social media?
Yeah, I don't even like showing personal texts ever. I think that's kind of going down a slippery slope. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. The gotcha of it all with Housewives sometimes, I don't love that. The let me investigate you, let me pull up, dig and see. I don't like that. I like the mess. I like the fun shade. I like when they go back and forth. But all of that is weird to me.
It's also
weird.
a hard thing too, where you're like, okay, those are the texts where you look good.
Yes.
But I'm sure there's a long history where it's like, then do you want Lisa to show texts where she? And I'm like, it's a never-ending back and forth of stuff that's not on the show. So then I'm like, I don't really.
But then,
I want to watch you guys.
Isn't Bronwyn a little bit of an enigma too? Because then she tells us this story about her husband that made us all be like, say what now?
Yeah.
And then she got mad at Lisa and Meredith for saying, well, he's a nice guy. But then she goes on social media and is like, he's the best and I should have had his back. And I'm like, well, what is it? What is it?
And like she even kind of backtracked on Watch What Happens, right? Or she was like trying to like re-clarify.
Well,
some
she
stuff.
actually sounded even differently on Watch What Happens because she sounds one way on the show, but then she sounded like this on Watch What Happens Live, and I'm just not sure. And Todd is just the greatest, and but on the show, she's like, let me tell you, and that's the Bronwyn I like.
I think that's the real Bronwyn.
You think so?
And I think the less authentic version of herself is who she presents
The
to her
mindful,
husband.
demure Bronwyn is not the less authentic.
I'm not
version.
saying that she's not mindful or demure, but I think she's fiery than she has presented to her husband,
Yeah.
and that's a side of herself that I don't think Todd is
Well,
super
you even
comfortable
hear
with.
it on the show. Like, you even hear the vocal inflection change.
Yeah, there's
And
there's
I'm
code
not married,
switching.
so married folks don't come for me. Because if you talk to your, fella different than you talk to your girlfriends, okay, I get it. Maybe that's why I'm not married, because I necessarily don't do that. It's all the same for me. But I do get, there is you see the power dynamic of their relationship on
Very much.
full display,
Yes.
which in a way I appreciate as a viewer, because I'm like, ooh, she is kind of showing us everything of how she is. She is kind of showing us like, this is me, Bronwyn. This is assertive Bronwyn. This is like demure Bronwyn. This is baby doll Bronwyn. This is like, I'm gonna kick your Bronwyn. You know, like, so we are getting all of it. I just am with you. I don't know if it's all authentic.
I know.
Yeah, I do think that sometimes what might be seen as no loyalty to anyone, like, I think part of that is true, of course, but I also think maybe it's because she's so transparent with everyone.
Yeah.
Because she'll have a conversation,
Yeah.
and then she'll reveal the details of the conversation to anyone.
Well, she just
that's,
did that
like,
this week.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she just
and
did
so
that this
obviously
week.
that shows that loyalty could be an issue for her, but at least she has transparency.
Yeah.
Right?
But I'm the type of girl too, like, if you my girl, I'm gonna have your back, but I may tell you, like, you know, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It just feels like maybe she's trying to form some sort of relationship, but nothing's working, and so maybe it's just she's going from pot to pod to pod to pod.
I think she's trying to see what lands for her.
And like who she's gonna have the strongest bond with, or like who she thinks like, oh, this will be a good team.
Right.
Which then I don't know.
But
if
it's coming off as
Yeah.
just not authentic. Like, it's just you're backstabbing everybody.
And I wonder if
that's what it's coming off.
Why? Because Whitney on Watch What Happened said they all went out after the reunion, but Bronwyn didn't go with them. So.
Oh, well, that's,
Now, was
that's
that
a red
because
flag.
Todd needed to go
Oh, see, it could be a Todd situation
or is
too.
it because she wasn't invited? Those are two different things.
They are.
That is true.
Those are two different things.
Well, it was interesting to hear you say that you were not about her sharing those text messages,
didn't like it.
which made me immediately think, I need to know your thoughts on Dorit versus Kyle, because Dorit shared that text message. So I don't know if that sort of set the stage
And
for
the
how you feel
memes-
about Dorit this
Well,
season.
okay, so I felt a little bit different about that because it wasn't like Dorit like screenshot them and showed them. Like, she showed Erica the text message and you saw it, but you didn't like, it's not like she screenshot it and gave it to producers.
And also, you saw it while a reunion was filming.
right,
type
you
of thing.
saw that. And in that case, I did think Kyle was being a little manipulative there. I agreed with Dorit. I thought, like, if you haven't talked to me in months, and then the day before the reunion, you send me a text saying, "Oh, cuckoo, I love you. I don't want to have a problem. Let's just not talk about this."
Right, it was sent with intention, you know?
And maybe y'all know, I think Kyle is the best housewife of all time, but I do think she throws the rock and hides the hand better than anybody of all time.
Right, which is
But
a
that's why she's so
compliment.
great.
It's a-
Yes,
yeah,
she's
exactly.
She's really good at not
Yes.
being in the mess at all.
Yes,
But she's
but
in the
being
memes.
all in the
and all the
mess.
memes, yes, and all the mess, yes. How do you feel about her communicating with BK still?
Okay, so I think Kyle's in the wrong here. I think she's in the wrong here. It is a girl code. And all of my girlfriends, we know, like, I'm cool with you, I'm cool with your partner, whatever, but if something ever goes down, it's me and you.
Yes.
It's not them. And so I don't have nothing to say to you anymore.
Well,
I really not. If I see you, I might speak, but we're not texting, we're not memeing, we're not jiffing, we're not doing any of those things. No, sir. And if you send it to me, you stay on red.
Yes.
You do not know.
Well, it's interesting you say, like, you know, it's always going to be you and your girlfriend, because that's what Kyle said that to Dorit. She was like, no matter what, I'm always going to take your side, but is memeing with someone's ex while they're going through a contentious split, that's to me is the, in Dorit's words, the diametrical opposite.
Right, but and Dorit had the best point. She's like, it's not about you memeing with him, but if you texting him and not me, because you're beefing with me, like, that's the problem. If you're texting him and you're still texting me and we're all still friends, okay, but you're now just texting him and not me.
And this is also what I was going to say. PK had recently cut off access, or cut off a little bit more access to Dorit. So I think Dorit was uncomfortable and felt like,
I would be.
That you're
Kyle,
talking to your ex more
if you
than
have
me.
access to my ex and I don't, that's also the father of my children. Like, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, please let me know, clue me in,
100%.
because that's a
Kyle
really
was wrong
uncomfy
there,
space.
and if she couldn't see that, like, that was a tough one. Because I was like, Kyle, you gotta see that, because she knows. She was like, well, I would expect you to text Mo and me if we're going through something. And that's when Dorit was like, yeah, the both of you, but not just Mo.
Yeah.
And if that happened, Kyle already said seasons ago, if a woman looks at him or dances with him, she's ready to punch her in the face.
Wait,
She would not like that.
the memes.
Yeah.
If Dorit was out here sending Kiki and you know, cat memes and whatnot to to Mo,
In
and
his bachelor
Kyle
pad?
found out?
Yeah.
Oh, baby, it would be
And
a
also,
whole
like,
problem.
memes, that's a form of communication. And also, they're both separated, so I'm assuming the memes on their For You page are not like, oh, I got new flowers today. It's about making fun of probably ex. I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm
I
like,
don't
what
care
about
what
it?
it was about. I don't care if it's I went to the Costco and I tried the sample of the new flatbread pizza. Don't send that to my ex.
Yeah, you shouldn't know when my ex goes to Costco.
Right, I don't care.
How did you feel about Sutton's cordiality? Where she...
I am cordial. Like, amazing. Honestly, I love that woman.
I love her. She was a whole mess in that conversation,
was,
but I
yeah.
do love me some Sutton. And here's what I will say too, because I don't always back everything that Sutton says, although I think she is incredible television.
so good.
I really honestly I didn't think she said anything bad to Dorit, but I completely understood what Garcelle was saying. Like, you didn't have a bad intention, but you leave them children alone. Those are her kids, and she can do whatever she wants to do with those children.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Don't speak about it. It's none of your business. If she don't ever tell those kids and they 40 years old still think daddy's on a work trip, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Those are her children. Don't even go there.
And also because it's still so new for Dorit too. That
Yes.
she's like, I'll get to that when I can get to that.
Absolutely.
And I almost feel like Sutton just kind of I think what's
None of us, but I might not. I probably wouldn't have. I probably would tell my kids too. But those are her kids.
yeah.
Them kids came out of her birth canal.
Right.
Like, don't tell somebody how to raise their kids.
Do you know what I do love though? Is I love how much support Bose has given Dorit, and I really love the way they just have hit it off, and they have
Do
such a
you
great
love
friend.
it?
I do kind of like. Okay, the reason I love it. The reason I love it. Yeah, okay. Okay, so you don't know how to feel about it, but the reason I love it is because I feel like Dorit hardly has.
Dorit needs an ally.
She does, and
Yes,
so I'm
with you on
glad
that.
she has someone, and I love
Yeah.
Dorit
Yeah.
so much. So I'm just
she
glad she has
can't just
someone
film
to
scenes
talk
with
to.
Phoenix. Yeah.
And I thought it was. I just thought it was. I don't know.
And I
Speaking
love-
of loyalty, though, how do you feel about her sort of, getting into it with Sutton, who brought her onto the show?
Well, here's what I noticed, and maybe I could be looking too much in it, but I kind of feel like that Bose, besides the group scene, she's only filmed with Dorit. Like, so that
Oh, you're kind of right.
is kind of like,
Yeah.
she hasn't filmed with anybody else. She hasn't, so I'm kind of like, and maybe she hasn't, maybe we haven't
hasn't
seen
been-
it, or it's been cut out
Yeah.
or whatnot. But it seems like it's shaping up as this kind of blind loyalty. And we know as viewers, and Bose has said this, like, I don't know those other versions of Dorit. I don't.
Yeah.
We know them as viewers, so we like, girl,
Look out! Yeah.
while wade in the water, children. What, like, go tread lightly, Bose, because you don't know what she's gonna say next or what's gonna happen. And so while they're coming at it with these different experiences, Bose is so shocked because she's like, well, I don't know this. All I see is people coming for Dorit.
And
When
in
she
a
hasn't
hard
seen
moment
Dorit
of
come
Dorit's
for
life.
everybody else.
That's true. Where she's
Right?
like, why are you picking on this woman who's
Exactly.
going through a divorce? When everyone's like,
Exactly.
you don't know her.
Exactly. So I get that because she's
Yeah.
like, I haven't had that shared experience. This is the only experience I have. But I think that it's shaping the way she sees the other women, which I also don't think is really fair because she's looking at them as the villains when they're like, no, the villain is sitting beside
Well,
you.
'cause
it's
you
also-
know Dorit's talking mad about Sutton to Bose.
Well, have you guys been watching the after show?
Yes, they are lethal.
The after show's almost better than the actual
It's
show.
so good. On the after show too, it's making me think like Bose does kind of have a thing for Sutton, and it has been from episode 1 of the after show when she was coming for her about her outfit for
Which
the
was kinda
surrealist party.
Surreal, yes.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe she does have a little bit of an issue.
I feel there
I
might be
feel like
something there.
I feel like it's a Housewives pattern to go after the girl who brought you onto the show. Like I feel like that always happens, and I don't know why.
Because I was like, I thought they were good.
But it is
like,
funny, like you said, like they haven't talked at all
No.
since
Yeah.
that
No.
party.
No.
Yeah, and I know it is a hard thing. Well, I like that Bose was like, I get along with Dorit because she's a talker and I'm a listener. But I want her to. It would be great if she was forced to be at a table with someone who's also a listener, so she could open up
I mean,
more.
we saw her with the group kind of scene with Dorit and Erica, but
Yeah.
we haven't seen her
I forgot.
have any sort of
I
interactions.
forgot who it was. It was like her, Kathy, and Jennifer Tilly on like the little boat. I'm like, this is kind of like the unofficial view, and I could listen to them talk about like getting
damn
scammed
Jennifer
by
Tilly.
Yeah. Do we like Jennifer Tilly?
Thank you, Jesus, for Jennifer Tilly. Thank you, G. When she was talking about trying to get that little piece of guacamole on a chip underneath Dorit's arm.
I love
she is such a gift.
She makes, because like, and I thought at first was so rich she's delusional. Jennifer Tilly's in a whole new, she has Simpsons money. She doesn't even know what's going on.
No, and doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
She told that man to get that doll a glass of wine, and she,
Like, in
and
all
the man did
seriousness,
it,
yeah.
and he did.
It's so refreshing. Oh, my
That
God.
doll had on a $4,500 dress. That's
I would love.
And she
But
looked
that's
good,
what we
yeah.
love about Beverly Hills when we get, because I want to see that crazy money,
Opulence, yes.
that's like dumb money. You know, I want to see that. That's
Yeah.
what I love about them. I don't like when we have to look at these women who are pretending like they got dumb money. Give me the dumb money and let me enjoy that.
Well, I'm a little upset because what I wanted to see at the Potomac reunion was.
Why am I Thomas Jefferson's concubine?
I mean, I guess we got the reunion in that.
That question
footage.
better have been answered in some way, shape, or form.
I don't-
Somebody better have answered that question.
But wait, before we get into Karen not showing up to the reunion because
Yes.
I guess she's awaiting her sentencing, how are we feeling about those DUI videos that leaked?
Y'all know that I love me some Karen.
Yeah.
Hoover. Y'all know.
She's
I
my
am-
birthday twin.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are
Yes.
Ladams. I am.
Yes.
There's no defense for that. And the fact that Karen really tried to go all this time to make people think that it was just nothing and it was a mistake and it was just whatever, and then you see that, that's bad. That
And
is bad.
And also for like, I feel that's why Giselle on the recent Reasonably Shady podcast episode.
Oh yeah, she went in.
She went in because she kind of
bamboozled.
got played the entire season
Yeah.
where like she was. I think everyone was shocked. It's like, oh, Giselle's being as nice as she's ever been to Karen.
Yeah.
Because she's going as nice as Giselle
Yeah,
can
as
be.
she's ever been, right.
Yeah. Not nice, but
Nicety,
nice
right.
adjacent.
By Giselle's
Yeah,
standards, you
but
know?
then to kind of, because she was like, okay, Karen is telling us that she's gonna be like, you know, it's
Right.
gonna be cleared, everything like that, and then
I was trying to do that too. Like, okay, you know, we all know in reality she can't say anything because it's a case, but those dash cameras told all the story that we ever needed to know. That was terrible. It was bad. She could have killed someone. She should be ashamed of herself. It was like, wow. And when Ray walked up, she said to the people, I do not even like this man. I don't like him, she said. When her husband walked up, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is wild.
That's supposed to be the institution.
It was wild.
I do like how we saw the wig from her DUI video show up on the episodes.
did,
You know, it was kind of nice to see it
That thing has
in
been
both places.
That wig, if that wig could talk,
Oh, that's the after show.
if these wigs could talk, that's what
Yeah.
the show should be called.
Do you feel, because we of course don't know if it was Karen's call, Bravo's call,
Yeah.
the
Did she
judge's
do a
call.
one-on-one with Andy,
Andy,
like a
something-
separate one?
I hope so.
I hope not.
Oh, you hope not?
No,
Okay.
because I don't like when they do that.
Oh.
I don't like. Karen needs to sit and face everybody like everybody else, and if she's not going to, then she needs to go.
I feel, I mean, when we saw that, it seems almost like the writing's on the wall. If
Yeah.
you're not going to the reunion,
Yeah.
and you just had a guilty case. I don't really know what.
It feels like maybe the right time that she is put on pause.
Well, seeing those dash cam videos, there's something she's got to address. Like she's got some things she needs to take care of in her life, and get it together. And so hopefully she is doing that. Hopefully, because I do love me some Karen Hugo, and I always thought, oh, she's just delusionally funny, but that was like, you can't defend that. You cannot defend that.
No Karen at the reunion means more time to talk about Mia.
Mia.
Yeah. How are we feeling about Mia?
We're not.
We're not. We're not feeling Mia at all. Okay. Okay. What are your biggest gripes with Mia at the moment?
Because I don't think that Mia knows a lie from the truth. I think she has a hard time deciphering what is truth, what is fact, what is fiction, what does this look like. I don't know where that comes from. I was saying earlier, like the first couple seasons, I was a bit of an apologist for her because I felt like, oh gosh, she's so broken. She just needs a break. Oh, she's so broken. She's good. You know, I'm rooting for her. But this is just weird. And it does feel like, well, it feels performative too. It feels like she's doing it for the cameras and that this is all just like a show thing for her, but it's not fun. No. It's not funny.
Because it's all with her kids. It's just a lot.
And those kids,
And now that she's back with Gordon? Like,
is she?
It was like a new beginning.
Yeah, I
new
saw that.
situation.
But that's I'm like.
But
who
that's what I'm
knows
saying. You can't. It doesn't matter. You can't believe anything she says.
I do like Mia. We've had fun moments with her, but I worry that she might be exhausting the audience. And she's certainly exhausting her castmates with all of these new updates and stuff. And I just don't want her to run the course
Didn't she
faster.
say Giselle said she's dead to her and that was a nasty low blow, like trying to make Giselle's daughters out to be like basically slut shaming these teenage girls. No,
who like are fan favorites of
yes.
the show.
I was gonna say,
those girls.
like that's the thing that's kept Giselle afloat all these seasons is they're like, oh, she's a good mama. Them babies are amazing girls. Like, no, yes. And then you really tried to slut shame these kids, and that's gross. Gross.
And while Bronwyn she's kind of losing you. How is Stacey still on your side?
Yes,
I love
forever
her.
and ever.
TikTok too?
613, is that an area code?
She's the accidental funniest person in the world.
Honestly, she really is. And she's gorgeous. She's
Stunning.
like, she's gorgeous, she's corny, she's funny, she's like all of the things. She's perfect.
I don't think
She's
she
perfect.
understands her own magic.
She's perfect.
And that's what makes it so good.
Yeah. And I hope she never understands her own magic, because once you start drinking your own Kool-Aid, that's when it gets scary. But she is perfect. Stacey, you are perfection. Leave yourself, you are perfection. Be delusional about that man. Just walk around not knowing what's happening in life because we love you.
And you know what? I hope if she starts having photo shoots next year, her cast doesn't get mad at her like Jessel. Because I think, if you can afford a photographer, have a
Leave Queen
photographer.
Jessel alone. Although it was funny when she was dressed up, everybody else was in like shorts and she had on.
But you know what? That's on them. That is on them.
If I'm going to meet Jessel for a party, I'm dressing like I'm going to meet Jessel at a party.
Right. And Jessel did have a glow up, but Jessel had a good glow up. Jessel had like the Kyle Richards type of glow up. Jessel looks incredible.
I mean,
they need to back off.
Yeah.
Leave her alone. Back off.
Yeah, I mean, she was in studio today. We saw the glow up IRL. She's really beautiful,
stunning.
and it's so tasteful. And it's like you really wouldn't know unless Bryn wasn't yelling at the camera. She has new teeth and a new face. Like, you know, what did you think of the way Bryn came for Jessel over such? I mean, it's just silly stuff. The photographer, the makeup. Like, as a housewife, shouldn't that get you bonus points? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand why she went for her in that way.
Ask me about Bryn again.
Last time we had you in here talking about Bryn.
Oh yeah, it was something.
It was a whole situation. Bryn has continued her journey on this season of RHONY. How are we feeling?
It's a journey.
Yeah, how are we feeling about Bryn today?
I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I know like there was pressure because so many people were panning the first season of RHONY, and that they were, first season for them, I guess they call it season 15 or whatever. But so many people were saying, oh, it's boring, oh, it's so I know they felt pressure to have a show. I don't know what happened to her or what she thinks she's doing, if she thinks she's creating good television, if she thinks that she's being interesting. If she thinks she can't think she's being a truth teller because she's just making stuff up as she goes along. So I'm not sure what she's doing. I would love to like have a conversation with her and really ask her like, what's the motivation? What do you think you're doing? Because although I didn't love Uba saying to her like, who'd you sleep with together in the show? That was not cool. But I did feel like she had been poking Uba all night, and you can't like, you can't do me wrong and then get mad at how bad I retort.
And
like,
also,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You can't like cut me with a knife and then get mad when I, stab you 3 times. Like you really can't get mad at that. So I was like, she had been poking her all night, and I felt like Uba had just had enough. And she does know that Uba runs hot. She does know that Uba has a short temper. She does know that Uba grasps sometime like with her language, and she just kind of says the first thing that comes into her mind. She knows all of that stuff, and I feel like she was doing it intentionally.
Because that's what a lot of the audience was picking up also, that Bryn was going for Jessel, and then when Jessel kind of was like, you're mad
No,
at me for a
thank you.
photographer?
Yeah.
Goodbye. She kind of then was
She
like
moved
almost
on.
looking through the table like, who?
Like the heat seeker.
Right.
is next? Yeah. And then like, you could even tell Uba was like, I'm not feeling that well. She was like sleeping at the table. Like she was just,
Yeah.
I think she was just done with the trip.
Right, and it's like, if I'm asleep at the table and I'm going like this, leave me alone.
Yes.
But then you come at me like, why are you here? What are you doing? What? I'm asleep, man. Like, leave me alone.
Also, you want to be entertain me and I'll wake up.
Exactly. But she was like, just leave me alone. I'm just I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I did feel like I do think that Sai has to take some responsibility too for the Jessel stuff, because Sai was all up in the mix in that conversation too. She wasn't just sitting back observing. She was throwing it too.
And we thought it was funny because I'm like, Sai is an influencer with her kid. Like, I'm like, you do more photo shoots than Jessel, so you should be the advocate for that too.
Absolutely. So I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all.
We were telling Jessel it's kind of a compliment to her character, though, that the only thing you can attack her for is getting glam and taking photos. So I was like, keep going, Jessel.
Exactly.
Like, if that's the worst, that's pretty amazing.
They can't make me hate Queen Jessel.
Yeah.
They cannot make me hate her. And then talking about her apartment, like, there was a tag on the plant, or there was I mean, her apartment, she could fit like 3 of y'all's places in there. Leave her alone.
Then it looks like a restoration hardware store. I'm like, that's.
Wow.
That is
I wish my house looked like a restoration hardware store, right? Mine looks kind of like a Target store right now, and that's fine. I wish it looked like a restoration hardware store.
It looks lovely.
You know?
Man, because we don't have that much time with you.
Yeah. Why does this always happen?
I know.
We're getting into it, and then we're like, we don't have that much time. This always happens.
This is why we always want you to come back.
That's okay. I've made people mad. Do I have time to make Jennifer Aydin mad again?
Oh, that's perfect.
Let's end there.
Because Jennifer Aydin tried to come for you after you came last time, so please, we're going to give the final moments for that.
She said, after the last time I was here, and I said, I'm over Jennifer Aydin on Real Housewives of New York City. I stand 10 toes down on that. I'm over it. She tried to come for me and say, well, I don't even know who she is to be over her. Well, you better ask somebody. Google me, as they say. But no, honestly, I think that when people show you who they are, believe them. I've always seen who she is, and I think recently she's shown all of us exactly who she is. She is a tackhead, and she is gross, and she needs to hear that and own that.
And so does Jersey Mike's. I
That's
feel like they're co-signing this message.
That's it. That's it. And the fact that she still doubles down and honestly feels like somebody owes her behind an apology.
Well, she just did a little chat with Page Six, not with us, another reporter here, and she said that Bill, her husband, was really upset about it and actually urged her not to post the video. So that means he was upset that she made the videos and posted them.
Oh, I thought you were first saying he was upset that happened to her.
No,
he's like, why are you doing it? What are you doing?
He was mad that
Maybe
she actually
he does
posted
have some
them.
sense then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that tells me that she reviewed those videos internally and was like, I feel really confident and great about this, which is just so
double
insane.
down on that mess. And honestly is like, I feel like I'm owed an apology. That is wild to me. The entitlement is wild.
So she's not going to be getting subs. She's not going to be on the boat. She's not going to be doing anything. Yeah, I don't know what she's going to be up to, but
sitting in
hopefully
that house in Paramus.
Do you know what she's going to be up to? Googling Nischelle Turner.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what she's going to be doing.
People are going to say, ooh, she said Google me like she's important. Like she's like people.
And then they can count your Emmys.
But do you
You
know
know,
what
she didn't know who I was.
She probably, after the Jersey Mike's feud wrapped up, she's probably looking for someone new to feud with. So
That's
you're
true.
welcome, Jennifer Aydin.
Here I am.
Oh my God.
Would you like that toasted or cold?
Yeah.